You've been very vocal about the corruption in the NCAA basketball system since you were in the NCAA basketball system a quarter of a century ago. But now, in the wake of the FBI investigation, it's a hot topic in sports once again. And the biggest names, not just in sports, but in the world, have chimed in. We're going to talk about what both Barack Obama, former president, and someone who we always talk about, LeBron James, have to say about it. Let's start with LeBron.
I know as the NBA, we have to figure out a way that we can shore up our farm league, and if kids, feel like they don't want to be a part of that NCAA program thing, then we have something here for them to be able to jump back on and not have to worry about going overseas all the time, I guess. So we have to figure that out.
So LeBron mentioned a farm league, and here's what Barack Obama said during a secret off-the-record panel at the Sloan Conference. He said, quote, "Even if you're not ready for the big leagues immediately, at least it's clear that this is going to be your profession. You start getting paid, and the professional organization is on the hook. There's clarity. If you're not Bryce Harper or Aaron Judge, then you go to college, but you're signing up for a certain amount of time." Jalen, my question to you is, what do you think about this farm league proposal from these two important and intelligent men?
I'm not a fan of the farm system. Here's why. In theory, it's in place right now. It's called the G League. But let me tell you something that a youngster in the country has never said. I can't wait to grow up and play in the G League. You know why? Because they don't make the same level of money that they make in the NBA. That's what this comes down to. When you go play internationally, there's certain leagues that only allow 2 American-born players per roster.
Yep.
So that suppresses the market.
Yep.
There's only so many international leagues you can perform in, and some clearly are more elite than others. What needs to happen is the G League needs to play the players a lot more, just like the WNBA needs to play their players a lot more. There's no reason why the elite players in the WNBA need to go overseas to play basketball and make 90% more money, but then play in the WNBA and make a fraction of that in their salary. That's exactly what's happening right now with the NBA and the G League. It's not a true farm system. It's not a true way towards the NBA, number one, because all 30 NBA teams don't have a squad. So that can't be the legitimate way to do it right now.
I mean, this would take years and years to instate, but it almost seems like these two are talking about not necessarily like a baseball farm system, but like a European soccer system where teenagers, young teenagers, get like sort of drafted by a team and they play for like the Man U club team when they're 14, and the team becomes somewhat responsible for their growth. They don't really get paid until they get older. Could you see something like that happening over 10 years in this country?
Those mechanisms are already in place. What you just described is AAU. That's already in place. Another thing that's already in place is high school basketball. The other thing that's in place is when you graduate from high school, you can't go to the league. So now all of a sudden, I'm going to the NCAA to play on that stage that can't be duplicated in the G League. So there's a cost associated with being a part of the NCAA scenario and not being able to use your likeness or profit off all of the things that you're able to bring to the table other than a scholarship. But then there's a platform and a stage and a popularity and the media presence that comes with it that you also now become a level of player that is able to market themselves. So it's already set up. It's the G League, it's the NCAA, it's the NBA. Those entities on a professional level need to work better together to create that system. And before that is high school basketball and AAU basketball.
One thing that seems pretty clear is that we are going to see the end of the one and done rule. But I want you to put something on wax. How long will it take? How many years will it be until the one and done rule is no longer with us?
The next collective bargaining agreement, which I think takes place in like 3 or 4 years. Not this current cycle, but right after that. So I'll say up to 4 years.
I look forward to it.